The GAA Hour is sponsored by Paddy Power. For exclusive content from their GAA ambassadors and other high-profile contributors, check out news.paddypower.com.
Delighted to say Cathal Cregg has joined us on the line now. Cathal, thanks for taking the call. How's the head this morning?
Fragile enough this morning now, I'm afraid.
Where were the celebrations last night?
We came back into Roscommon and we stayed there till, I don't know, it must have been 5 or 6 o'clock this morning, but a good night was had anyways, and we're going to head off now in a while again.
Yeah, well, listen, you well deserve it. There was some scenes at the end of the game there, the pitch invasion before the game was over. It was fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I thought there were 2 minutes to go. I don't know what was going to happen with Barry Cassidy, whether he was going to have to call off the game or what was going on, but thankfully they all got off the field anyways, and he eventually got to blow it up, and there was afterwards. I suppose it was similar to Cassidy a couple of weeks ago, which was brilliant, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so how did they get off the pitch? I saw some players trying to shepherd people off the pitch and everyone was kind of rowing in the same direction. I never thought maybe that the Roscommon players were worried that the game might be cancelled and you 2 points up or 3 points up.
Yeah, well, I think that was the initial thought of everyone, was that it would be... I don't know why. I think all the players in the field just were telling people to get off. And in fairness, probably 30 seconds got it done. Now, they didn't go too far out to the white line, but they went far enough anyways for them to play the last 2 minutes. And thankfully, we didn't concede the goal, even though it was close, but we got there in the finish.
Yeah, you're over on the bench at this stage because you went off injured. Are there any stewards in Salt Hill, or is it just impossible to keep the Rossies back when they think they're going to win a match?
there was loads of stewards there, in fairness, but in fairness, they were just jumping the sidelines from all sides. The stewards couldn't do anything. They probably just had to let them go and finish, you know.
Yeah. Come here, listen, this is obviously a fantastic win for yourself because you missed the one in 2017.
Yeah, I took the year out in 2017, so I suppose I had the win in 2010, which was great, and I suppose I think it'll be 9-10 years till we get one again, or till I get one. But it was brilliant, and I suppose the way we won it then, in beating Mayo away and then beating Galway away, I suppose that is more special.
Yeah, definitely, because I'm trying to think of where your head is at after the Super 8s last year, which turned out to be a disaster, let's be honest, for Roscommon, and then you see the draw for this year's championship where you've got Mayo away and a final in Salt Hill. Optimism can't have been that high.
Yeah, look, I suppose the first game of the Super 8, Tyrone blitzed us in the first half, and I suppose to be fair, the Super 8 was over after that half. And the last couple of weeks of it was tough, playing Donegal and then Dublin. We had them in the last dead rubber game, and I suppose it was a long winter, but I suppose the players just knuckled down. I suppose the draw probably wasn't favourable, even though we got over it. And Division 1 was up and down with a couple of good results and then a couple of bad results, and we got relegated in the finish, which was very disappointing for the group. But we knew we were competing well in most of them games, even though we did get relegated. So that gave us optimism. But I suppose we didn't really know where we were at. We had a good win against Leitrim. We didn't really know. We had prepared well. We didn't know how good we were, how far on we were till we bet Mayo that day. And we knew we were in a good place then, and I suppose it was just a matter of backing it up then yesterday, which thankfully we did.
Yeah, thankfully you did. Yeah, it didn't look too good at half time. What was said at half time? Because Galway really took over for the second half of the first half.
Yeah, it was tit for tat for the first quarter, I suppose. In the second quarter, they took over. They got it was 5-0, and then it just went to 10-5. Well, I suppose it wasn't rocket science. I suppose the second half we just worked way harder than we did in the first half, and we held on to the ball. We didn't give away the ball stupidly like we did in the first half. And that was probably the winning of it, really. It was probably just hard work, you know.
Yeah, and I think, when you look at it as well, your game plan is to move it fast to the half forward line. Someone's holding the 45, and I think it was Anthony Cunningham said that maybe you were forcing that a little bit considering the conditions. Do you know what I mean? So you had to think on your feet maybe at half time and go, look, that's not always on. Don't give it unless it's definitely on.
Yeah, I suppose we probably ran the ball a small bit more. I suppose in the first half there was an awful downpour of rain, there was a serious shower of rain there, and the ball was skidding off the ground. Some of them came off, and Smith got a couple of runs, but a lot of them went out over the sideline, bits and pieces, and that's where Galway got a lot of their scores from, to go that 5 points up. So we knew ourselves we had to stop turning over the ball, and we had way less turnovers in the second half. And look, when you have the ball, luckily enough, we've fairly good forwards, and James got the goal, and Cassie got a couple of points, and I suppose that was the difference in the finish.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. Talk to us about the goal there, because, you're running towards the goal, and I'm not sure you can tell us what's going on through your head, but I'm sure you're not thinking goal until Sean Andy makes that mistake and steps towards you.
Yeah, I suppose I was going down along. I was seeing which James was kind of edging in and out, and just got that gap and gave it to him. I suppose I was probably thinking maybe a shot on my own left foot. But then the space came and I gave it to Jim. Then a great finish by him, in fairness, on the near side. I was just right behind it. There wasn't much of a gap there, you know.
No, there wasn't much to aim at. But it was almost like you're just running towards him, saying, kind of thinking in your head, something's going to have to happen here. You know, they almost made your mind up for you. While Sean Andy took the step, Diarmuid had made the lovely little run almost at the same time, and then, you know, it was an easy decision for you then in the end.
Yeah, I suppose when you're going towards him, you're trying to tease him, and Jeremy's movement was very good before that. If you watch it, he was moving over and back, so I suppose you're trying to tease him to come, but then he does actually come, and there was just a fraction of space there, and luckily the pass went to hand, and Jeremy finished that.
Yeah. Talk to us about the panel this year, Cathal. Obviously, there was an incredible stat before the Mayo game in that only 4 of the starters from the previous year's Connacht final had started against Mayo. Now, a lot of them came on the subs. The Daly brothers are back in the defence, you know, bring that bit of physicality. Conor Cox is obviously the big headline grabber as well. I didn't realise there would be that many more players in Roscommon that would be able to fill in for that many players.
Yeah, look, we're lucky. We're lucky in terms of that we've quite a talent in the county at the minute. And I suppose that stat was thrown out there with 4, but I think like all 6 that came on would have been regular starters last year, so that brings it up to 10. And then you've a few lads who'll say like Niall McInerney and Kieran Murtha who weren't on the panel this year. So, but we've had a strong panel over the last couple of years. I suppose we've been in the last 4 Connachtfinal. We've won 2. So we're very fortunate with the players we have. It'd be great if we could for next year now get the likes of Kieran back and Niall McInerney and make it even stronger.
Yeah, what about Conor Cox's impact? We kind of talking to him or about him on the show here, and you wonder how the hell Kerry let him go. And then I remember Mark O'Shea telling me after the live show in Roscommon the other night that no one in Kerry was too upset that he went. You know what I mean? He's an incredible forward.
Yeah, he's an incredible talent. Like he's some finisher. He's been great in the place. You know, he came up. He's gelled really well into the panel. He's a great lad, and like a couple of he's really good in the league. But he really stood up against Mayo and Galway. We're just delighted to have him. Like to have a finisher like that can get 4, 5, 6 points in a championship game for you. Like it's priceless.
Yeah, he stands up. There's a bit of leadership in him too, you know. He's not afraid to celebrate a score, and there's a bit of an inspirational type of player about him. Yeah,
and I suppose some of the shots, he can score left, right. Like some of the points he scored the last couple of days, particularly that one in the first half off the outside of the left foot on the left hand side, it's unbelievable. And the last one, then the slicer. He's done that during the league as well, so they're not flukes,
Yeah.
He does it fairly regular.
Well, we were talking about the first one here just before you joined the show, and Maddie Ford was thinking it was a fluke. Myself and Conan were thinking that he looked up to pass it, but there was actually no one there, so he just said he'd go for it. What do you think? Were you asking him about it?
Well, he reckons he done his training last weekend. He was training last night, so the boys were just using that. But no, I'd say he was definitely going for it all right. We've seen him doing it a few times. To refer to him, he's just an unbelievable shooter off both feet, and it's brilliant to have him.
Yeah. So come here, talk to me about Anthony Cunningham, because his record is brilliant, and there definitely seems to be more of a physical edge to you. There's definitely seems to be picking potentially bigger players, and there seems to be more of a bite about you. Would that be fair?
Yeah, I suppose that's a fair comment. Probably, I suppose the Dailies are back in. That has given a fair bit of a physical edge to us. He, I suppose, playing slightly more defensive type of a game, which has worked out well in the championship. I suppose it was good and bad in the league, but no, he has brought a good edge to us, and two massive performances the last couple of years, which is brilliant.
Is that important after the Super 8s? Whoever came after the Super 8s last year, that whoever came in even though it wasn't the most. I think he went through a few different managers before Anthony ended up getting it. It was a drawn out process, anyways. But whoever came in, it was important maybe to get you a bit more streetwise to that counter attack.
I think so. Yeah, like we probably weren't small but naive. We'll say we were playing an open attacking game, but that was fine, I suppose, against teams at our own level. But when we went to the likes of the Super 8s last year, teams that were above us, we just got slaughtered, So we knew ourselves as a group of players we needed to shore up defensively, because if you're conceding 2, 3, 4 goals in the game, with the forwards we have, you won't outshoot that. So it was luckily, I suppose, Anthony had the same mindset. He probably was looking at the games last year and knew where we needed to improve.
Yeah, no, and just on that, you can still get bodies back and still play a nice brand of football, which most people agree that you still play a nice brand of football. But your role on that as the link man on the 45, and maybe Enda Smith, it's hard to tell on the TV, played that for a while in the first half yesterday as well. But you can still play a good kicking game with 3 up there if you spread the 3 out well.
Yeah. And look, at every game is different. Like you try and hold your shape as much up front. Like sometimes it ends up at 4, 3, 2, and there's only one at times. And I'd say probably at times yesterday we had no one up front. And it's if cornerbacks go running, you have to track them in. I think Coxie was down in the corner at one stage. So we try and hold our shape as much up front. But we have good kickers, like Shane Cologne, Hubert Darcy, Conor Devaney there before he went off, and Enda can run it well too. So, look, we try and mix it as well,
Yeah, no, exactly. No, just to finish up, obviously the Super 8s, you have unfinished business there after last year, and obviously this year you have a first game at home in Dr. Hyde, which against one of the teams that has come through a gruelling qualifier route. So that seems much fairer.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that till someone said it last night. I thought we played the same as last year, the provincial winners, but apparently we have a home game in the Hyde, which will be brilliant. And I suppose then that's one point. I suppose we'll definitely have a point to prove, because I suppose we were very disappointed with the way we went about our business last year in the Super 8. As I said earlier, it was probably over after half an hour, 20 minutes even, against Tyrone, and we got hammered, and then we got wild out against Donegal, and then had to go up to Dublin, and we got back there again. So we just want to go into the Super 8, get that home game first, put in a good performance in each of the games, and I suppose see where that takes us. But ultimately, we want to be really competitive in all the games.
Yeah, Cathal, come here. I'll let you go join your teammates there. Thanks very much for taking the call from us.
Perfect. Yeah.